Hello everyone. Let us go to the remaining part of this topic. We have already started this topic number 8, cropping system. Now let us see once again what is this cropping system. Now here in this cropping system, it is an important component of farming system. It represents it is an important component of farming system. It represents cropping pattern to be used on the farm and their interaction with the farm resources. So in this cropping system, cropping pattern is very important. Now let us once again recall the cropping system to be used in any area in agriculture. Now this as we know that in agriculture there are important three seasons: kharif season, rabi season, and summer season. So in this cropping pattern, what is the cropping pattern that is to be understood in cropping system? Cropping pattern means the proportion of area under various crops at the early sequences and spatial arrangement of crops on the given land area. So this cropping pattern which is to be used as per the land resources that we have already studied. Now here let us go to the another part of this cropping system. There are different cropping systems. There are different kinds of cropping systems we follow in India. Now these cropping systems depend upon the resources and the technology whatever available and different types of cropping systems. So these cropping systems are here. Number one, it is monoculture. Number two, it is multiple cropping. Number three, it is intercropping. Number four, it is mixed cropping. We are going to see in detail, just have a list of it. Then number four, it is mixed cropping. Five, strip cropping. Number six, it is sequence cropping. Number seven is relay cropping. Number eight is multi-storied cropping. And last one, that is a catch cropping. Now we are going to study in detail about this. Let us go to the first, this monoculture. Now this monoculture, it is also called monocropping. This is means growing of only one crop on the same piece of land year after year. For example, we are cultivating rice. In South India, what happens that rice is cultivated in Kharif, Rabi, summer and years together. So when we cultivate only one crop year after year, that becomes monoculture. Now why these things happens? Monoculture is actually not good for maintaining soil fertility, that we will see later on. But why monoculture is followed? This is because of the climatological factors. It is also because of socio-economic conditions and maybe because of specialization of a farmer. Now you have observed that rice is consumed on large scale in entire South India. That's why farmers cultivate only rice on large scale. Now that rice is grown under irrigated condition and rain-fed condition also. But under rain-fed condition, we can also grow groundnut, also grow cotton, sugarcane, or another where there is a limitation of rainfall. Now bajra also can be practiced in monoculture. Now in Rajasthan, you might have observed that the rainfall is very less and no irrigation facilities are available. So they can cultivate bajra or some other crop which require less amount of water for growth of the plant. Now in this just we have discussed in the southern states of India and Konkan region of Maharashtra, rice is widely cultivated. So this rice is cultivated as a monoculture because this rice is an important part of diet, and various different products are made out of rice. So in it is most of the area is low lying, and where the in Konkan area rainfall is very high, so waterlogging condition takes place in the soil. So that's why rice is cultivated on large scale. Again, one more thing, that the land holding is very smaller and they are scattered, means the size of land is less, 1 acre, 2 acre, or like that. So in such condition, it is necessary to cultivate single crop or monocrop. Let us have a look at another system. Now, in this monoculture, there are some disadvantages. Which are the disadvantages? There is a rapid deterioration of organic matter and soil structure. So soil quality goes on reducing because same kind of nutrients are sucked from the soil. That also increases flooding and drainage, and so because of these are the some drawbacks in monoculture. Now number two, that is a multiple cropping. Now this name itself indicates in multiple cropping we can grow two or more crops in this on the same piece of land, one after another, in one calendar year. Means in 1 year we can grow different crops. For example, udid in kharif season, wheat in rabi season, or rice, potato, green gram, means that is a kharif, rabi and summer, like that. Or we can grow jute, rice, potato. So one thing you must note down, that in multiple cropping the types of crops are different. One is udid in kharif, wheat in rice, wheat in rabi, or rice, potato, green gram. Means all these crops do have different cropping systems. Now what are the requirements of multiple cropping? The land should be leveled one, the soil should be highly productive, and the climate should be suitable. Then only we can grow different crops, 3 crops or more than 3 crops also. So irrigation facilities should be very much available. All inputs like seed, fertilizer should also be available, plenty. So in this case only multiple cropping is good to be grown. Then what are the advantages of multiple cropping? Then assurance, there is assurance of food and feed throughout year, that will increase the productivity per unit area. How that increases productivity? Because in this cropping system, multiple cropping system, we grow different crops having different root system. For example, cotton, jawar, groundnut. Cotton is grown in kharif season, jawar is grown in rabi season, groundnut is grown in summer season. So this cotton has tap rooted system, and then this jawar has adventitious rooted system, and groundnut again has tap root system. Now, and this groundnut is a pulse crop, means legume crop, not pulse crop exactly, but legume crop. So that increases the soil fertility. So in a multiple cropping system, the crops to be grown should have different root system, different growing pattern, and different requirements of nutrients. Another advantage, that there is a better distribution of income, means throughout year the farmer can get income, that will increase the total employment, the laborers will get more employment, capital to be used throughout year, good it can be used. Then it will important that the soil erosion is reduced, soil degradation speed is reduced. What does it mean? That if there is a single crop, there will be more soil erosion, but when there are different crops, throughout year, means the soil is engaged. In that condition, there will be less soil erosion. Then maximum utilization of land is also possible. So the residual effects of manures, fertilizers, moisture, they can be used as a management practices. So multiple cropping is a very good system of cropping for maximum benefit. But this multiple cropping uh, does have some disadvantages, like very little time is available for land preparation, because one after another crops are grown, so we have to prepare land very hurriedly, and time required available is very less. Then more intercultivation is to be done. So sometimes there will be inadequate preparatory tillage, because before sowing of any crop, good preparatory tillage is to be done. We know that what is tillage, that we are going to study in the next topic. But tillage means this is artificial manipulation of crops to bring it in good physical condition. In short, tillage means the operations which are done to make the soil suitable for cultivation of a crop. Now the time available for this cleaning of field is also very less. Then that may also cause residual toxicity, means allopathic effect in the next crop, means effect of first crop on next crop may takes place. And the most important, that it increases weed growth, it increases pest, it also increases diseases. So it becomes very difficult for management. And in this multiple cropping, it is difficult for long duration crops to be grown. We cannot grow sugarcane, we cannot grow any crop which requires more than one season. Then the weather condition, physical condition, there are some limitations in multiple cropping. Now assessment of land use, it means that how the land to be used. Now let us again see that what is the main objective of cropping system. It is to use available resources efficiently, means whatever resources we do have, they are to be used very efficiently, and that is the objective of cropping system. So this efficiency of soil we can increase, and that can be calculated by a particular formula it is given. So this multiple cropping index, MCI, or it is also called as cropping intensity index. Now what is this multiple cropping index or cropping intensity index? That it is nothing but it is the sum of area planted under different crops and harvested in single year, and then it is divided by total cultivable or cultivated area, and it is expressed in the form of percentage. Means we have to calculate the total area under different crops in 1 year, and then what is the total cultivated area. Now let us go to this. Now what is this MCI? Here have a look at this formula. MCI is equal to grossed, have a look at this figure, gross cropped area divided by net area multiplied by 100. Why it is whole multiplied by 100? It is to get into percentage. This is mentioned in percentage. Okay. Now here in this case, it is also given in the first formula. It is a summation. In the same, it is gross cropped area. Now here in this case of N, it is a total number of crops. Area under first crop planted and harvested within 1 year. A is total, this capital A It is the total land area available for cultivation. It is also referred as cropping intensity. Now let us take an example. Suppose a farmer has 10 hectares of land. He has to grow, or he has grown okra, that is called bhendi, in 6 hectares of land, and bottle gourd in 3 hectares of land during Kharif, chili in 5 hectare, cauliflower in 5 hectare. This is during Rabi season. It was during Kharif season. Cucumber in 4 hectares, muskmelon in 5 hectares. This is in summer season. So in Kharif, Rabi and summer, means in all these seasons the farmer has grown different crops in 10 hectares of land. Now we have to calculate cropping intensity index. How it is to be calculated? Let us have a look at the figures given here. Now this cropping intensity area, this is calculated based on the gross cropped area and the net area of the farm. Now the farmer has only 10 hectares of land, just we have studied. Now he has taken different crops. So in Kharif 6 hectare, 3 hectares, so it becomes 9 hectares. Means in Kharif it was 6 hectare plus 3 hectare. In Rabi 2 crops, 5 plus 5, it becomes 10 hectares. In summer 2 crops, 4 hectare plus 5 hectare, it becomes 9 hectare. Then total becomes 28. Now this 28 is multiplied by 10. Why it is multiplied by 10? Because the total area is only 10 hectares, but the cultivated that is 28 hectares. So 28 divided by 10 multiplied by 100. So here in this case the cropping intensity is 280%. What does it mean? That the land is put in use for 3 times. One time means 100%. Suppose only one crop in Kharif is taken, that is 1%, that is 100%. If Kharif and Rabi, then it becomes 200%. If Kharif, Rabi and summer, it becomes 300%, like that. So this is about cropping intensity index. Now let us go to another kind of another point, that is intercropping. This intercropping means growing 2 or more crops simultaneously on the same piece of land with definite pattern. For example, soybean and red gram are grown 5:1, means 5 rows of soybean plus 1 row of red gram, or 6 rows of soybean and 2 rows of red gram, or cotton plus tur, means 6 rows of cotton plus, after every 6 rows of cotton 2 rows of tur, means cotton, tur, again cotton, like that. It is called intercropping. Now this is practiced in Maharashtra, so this will reduce the risk of prices, risk of climatic factors, many things are there. Now, but what is important, that what is the objective of intercropping is to get higher productivity per unit area. Per unit area means that may be acre or that may be hectare. So to get maximum production, that is the only object. So in this intercropping, the resources are utilized very efficiently, and that will increase the productivity of the land. So the individual crop in the intercropping, that is called component crop. Means we have grown cotton plus tur, means cotton is a component crop, tur is also component crop. Now this intercropping is successful when that there should be no overlapping of the nutrient requirement. So for that purpose, the root system should be as possible different. So there should be less competition for light. Otherwise, the crops will compete with each other. So in that condition, the one crop should be of bushy nature while another should be of erect nature. So for example, jawar plus tur. Jawar is a erect crop, tur is a bushy type plant. Jawar has a taproot system, tur has sorry, jawar has adventitious root system, tur has top root system. So adventitious root and tap root system they are different, their nutrient requirements are also different. So these things are important in intercropping. Now these the crops whatever we grow in intercropping, they should be each other complementary to each other. Their maturity time should be different, at least 1 month they should be. So cereal should be at least one in the intercropping, and another crop in intercropping should be pulse. So another crop, one crop should be cereal, while another crop should be pulse crop or oilseed crop. Then why pulses are important in intercropping? Because pulses fix atmospheric nitrogen in the nodules present in the root, and that is made available to the plants. So that improves fertility of soil, utilizes the available soil moisture properly. So and they have different root systems. So in intercropping, one should be cereal crop, another should be pulse crop or oilseed crop. So that will also fulfill the requirement of water, that will also fulfill the requirement of farmers and all that. Now what are the objectives of intercropping? Objectives of intercropping is that the crop failure risk due to weather is reduced, due to pest is reduced. For example, two crops are there. One crop if is lost due to weather or insect diseases, then we can get another crop. So that is risk is reduced. That increases total productivity per unit area. This intercropping also increases utilization of resources, laborers, land, etc. Now in practices of intercropping, there are different systems of practices of intercropping. First, it is a paired row system. Now in this system, distance between two crops lines of main crop is reduced. Means distance between the main crop is reduced and space of intercrop is created. Now for example, jawar plus mung or tur or udid or bajra plus tur, means what is done, the spacing between the row to row and plant to plant of jawar is reduced. So that will give more space to mung or another crop. Now here in this case, jawar is a main crop and mung is a secondary crop or subsidiary crop. Then this is a paired row system. In a skipped row system, we have to skipped means we have to skip the row. So here in this case, that distance between two crop lines is kept as it is, but after two rows, one row is kept for intercrop. It means 2 plus 1 means 2 lines of jawar, 1 line of tur. Again 2 jawar, 1 line of tur, like that. So that will maintain the plant population of main crop. So jawar is a main crop, for example, and but that will also reduce the spacing. In general, means we can reduce the spacing between in the main plant, like instead of 15 centimeter we can keep 10 centimeter. So that will gives more space. So it is just like a first system. Now, what are the advantages of this intercropping? That uh, it increases yield of the crop as compared to sole crop. Sole crop means monocrop. So when we take intercropping, we get more income, means income from the main crop, income from the secondary crop also. Profitable use of space also can be taken, means instead of one crop we are taking two crops. There is a greater assurance of stability, assurance and stability of higher yield. Then we can also reduce the cost of cultivation. So reduce the cost of cultivation of main crop. It improves the soil fertility. It increases efficiency use of soil, nutrient, moisture, air. Then this intercropping also helps to control weed up to some extent. This covers the more ground area, so it will help to control soil erosion. It provides more employment, better distribution of labor, means labor can be used throughout year at various places for various works. And most important, that it provides income in installments and reduce market risk of market prices. So intercropping is very useful system. Despite that, there are some disadvantages in intercropping. For example, it may arise some difficulties in management practices. Uh, High mechanization is required. Harvesting is also difficult in intercropping because, for example, jawar and tur, then it becomes harvesting difficult for one crop because another crop is standing over there. Then here intercropping also may reduce qualitative and quantitative yield of crop. Compared with the monocropping, the quality may little bit reduce because there is a competition between these different crops for space, nutrients, water, and etc. And most important, that it requires sowing skill. So these are the some advantages of this intercropping. But some scientists say that we should not compare this intercropping with the sole cropping or another system of cropping. So these are the things. Then next time we shall go to these crop equivalent yields. So till then, goodbye.